Drake wanted to do a listening party for a couple of his friends. So cool. We set it all up. We do the listening party. I'm setting up all the speakers. Sounds great.
Yeah.
First song, we're into the intro. 2 minutes into the intro, this old man comes into the hotel and he's tripping. He's like, "What is this? Stop this shit. What's going on?"
My name is Hitesh Devasi. I'm a photographer and filmmaker based in Dubai. You're listening to the Creator to Creator podcast, where I sit down with creatives to talk about their journey, the lessons they've learned in order to inspire others to follow their passions. And let's jump into it. What do you want to talk about today?
Whatever you want to talk about, baby.
Okay, I think the first thing that we've discussed a bit before, and I want to touch on it, is your immigration story and how you moved to Dubai. What's the process of you working in Toronto and DJing there, doing all the other things that we did, which we're going to get into soon, but at the same time, what happened? Why was the transition from Toronto, Canada to Dubai?
So why Dubai?
Yeah, why Dubai?
Okay. So one thing is like in North America, when you say Dubai, it's like fucking, it's like, it takes you to another place. Even if you don't know shit. First of all, a lot of my friends, even before I came, thought Dubai was a country. They had no idea about the UAE. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like I knew about the UAE, but I didn't know about the other Emirates. I don't know. Our knowledge is not that great. But when you know of Dubai, you hear so many things. Like it's like this rich and lavish lifestyle.
The fancy luxury lifestyle.
It's like this. It's this next shit, right? So an opportunity arose where it was like, hey, we're looking for a DJ from Toronto to come and join this Toronto brand restaurant that is now opening up a chain in Dubai. That restaurant is La Carnita. And the owner is Hamdan. Right, great guy. Shout out Hamdan one time. And Hamdan's best friend has a younger sister whose name is Lean.
A very good friend for both of us.
We know Lean very well. We love Lean, right?
Who's been on the podcast before.
Of
The
course,
first
sound
episode.
on, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Lean. One of Lean's best friends in Toronto is Aliana, who is a great person in my life. She's an amazing person, character, and they had reached out to another Toronto DJ to come here, and he was looking into it, blah blah blah. Didn't end up happening. So they were looking for a DJ. They were under a time limit. And he still really wanted a Toronto DJ. He knew that I had worked with Majid Jordan. Hamdan had known Majid. So there was a little bit of a connection there. And essentially, I was put into contact through Lean and Aliana to speak with him. Send him a mix. Within the first day that I heard about coming to Dubai to the day that I moved was 3.5 weeks.
Oh, so super quick.
Bro, it was ridiculous. It was like that. And I was, essentially, I ended up here. I was speaking with friends, my family. They're like, how do you feel about this opportunity? Do you want to do it? Do you want to? And I was kind of scared at first, like realistic.
That's a big change.
I didn't know anybody here.
Yeah.
And things were going great in Toronto, but it was very comfortable. So in order to come out of the comfort zone, we had to get uncomfortable to be comfortable again. And that's what kind of brought me here. So I looked into it and I was down, sent him the mix. He fucked with it, flew me out. And then I landed here September 5th, 2018.
As a resident DJ.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when you moved itself, you already had things planned here.
Only what I was gonna be doing. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know where the fuck I was living. But yeah, it was like, come, you're gonna DJ. When I first started, it was just Thursdays and Fridays, which still fucked me up because Sunday's the beginning of the work week here. But for us,
a lot of people don't know
it's
that.
Monday. You know what I mean? So I'm like, Sundays are still like the chill day, but whatever. So Thursday and Friday are your weekend. So yeah, for the first little bit, that's all I was doing. Thursdays and Fridays. We built up Cartel. That's my sound that y'all fall in love with, all right? And then shit got great. And yeah, here we are.
So from there, and how long did you stay here? Because you moved back to Canada when the COVID
Yeah,
started.
so basically everything was going great. Everything was really going amazing, to be honest with you. Working with whatever brands, whatever we could do. And then COVID hit. So March 13th was the last day that I DJ'd in Dubai. And then quarantine, lockdown, blah, 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 hit the whole world. We thought it was going to last 2 weeks, maybe a month. We're like, oh, yeah, sick. We don't got a DJ. Nah, it lasted a lot longer than that. And yeah, I mean, fuck. Eventually, my family was just like, "Come home. You're not doing anything. Come spend some time with us." So, June 8th was when I flew back. It was a Monday. So, like, literally on June 6th or 7th, I was like, "Yo, I just booked my flight without telling anyone," and I went home. And I ended up staying there for fucking 5 months because when you're away during this pandemic, you had to apply for a permit. And the only way it works is you apply for a permit when you have a visa, a residence visa. And when you apply for your permit, if you get denied, you have to wait 5 days. So by the time I had booked my flight, my return ticket for 2 months after I flew out. And I was like, 2 months, I'll be back before then. Yo, 4 months later, still in Toronto, still nothing to do, still whatever.
Yeah.
And
And the bills are not stopping.
bro, yeah, correct. You're right. I was paying for rent full while I was living in Toronto for free. But whatever. Tried to come back, applied. Every time denied, wait 5 days. Denied, wait 5 days. That lasted a month and 5 days. Until the point I was like, okay, yo, fuck this. Let me cancel my residence visa and enter as a tourist.
Okay.
Right? So I reach out to the company, tell them what to do, cancel me. They're like, are you sure? Yes. Come, book my flight. So November 10th, I fly back. I left June 8th. June 8th. November 10th is when I fucking flew back.
Okay.
I land here, I come, and then I got fucked by the immigration. Because they're
What
like,
happened there?
they're like, yo, you're essentially in a state of limbo.
Okay.
Or purgatory.
Okay.
Right? And what that means is my process has been started to cancel my visa. So it has been canceled, but it's not fully canceled, so I'm not a tourist yet.
Oh.
Yeah. So what that did was essentially was I got here, I landed after a 13 and a half hour flight, and they're like, your paperwork's not straight, you have to leave. Yeah, exactly. So what that ended up doing was I reached out to a few people at the company, the new manager that was in there holding place. He was like, fly to Bahrain and come back, we'll have it sorted. I was like, no. Like, I'm not trying. If I leave here right now, I'm not coming back to Dubai. Because I was just not in the mood. And it was very,
Stressful, I'm sure.
yeah, you know what I mean? It was like not, bro, it was stressful. Like the words, I'm trying to think of the word, and I just remember that feeling of calling anyone and everyone I knew to try to help me to do this.
What time is this when you landed?
I landed probably at like 8 p.m.,
Okay.
7 p.m. maybe. I didn't leave until like 10:30. I was there for 3.5 hours stressing. I called Hamdan, the owner, and he's such a real one. He came and he sorted everything out at the airport and was just like, nah, please, blah, 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 whatever. Bam. Got me in, and now I entered as a tourist visa.
Okay.
Yeah.
And a lot has changed since you came back.
Yeah, I mean, shit, when we first came back, I was DJing like 4 nights in a row, right off the
Yeah.
back. I landed,
Yeah.
got settled, DJ, like literally 4 or 5 nights. So immediately, within a week, I had made more money DJing here than I did in 5 months in Toronto. Because in Toronto, the only DJing I did was 2 weddings, 2 like small low-key weddings. One was my sister, so I didn't, obviously, we're not charging money for that. And one was my best friend, not charging for that.
Yeah.
And then I did 2 gigs in 2 little pubs, bars, whatever. And you're making next to nothing, but it was nice to play. So within 5 days, I was already like, yes, it was a good move to come back.
Yeah. And
But-
then
Life hit you in the face again. And that was November. December was cool, January was cool, but then we got fucked again in February.
Yeah.
Which is here we are. So the complete music ban.
So now For people who don't know,
Although there was one venue that I played at that broke the rules a little bit
Uh-huh.
and put up a little black plexiglass to hide their DJs.
Okay.
We're not going to call out anybody.
Yeah, let's not say names, but I think a lot of people already know when that was happening. I think people.
Whatever, yeah. That place will always be home, so it's
Yeah.
whatever.
So it is what it is, and I think from there, what happened. I want to touch on firstly the ideas of like what's the future plan in terms of like we don't know how long this thing is gonna go on for. We all hope that it's gonna stop within this month or by next month it starts again.
After Ramadan or like
That,
next
we've been
month.
hearing so many rumors from different sources, so we never know what to believe at this
Yeah,
point, right?
Of course.
So, what's the direction that you're planning to take with this? And in terms of that, reminds me that we spoke about this off air, which you wanted to say like, since you moved to Dubai, you've almost been boxed into this idea of being a DJ, right? And you don't like that because your music history is a lot more than just being a DJ.
Yeah, correct.
So-
I think like the thing is with Dubai is it's been introduced as just like a hip hop DJ. You know what I mean? Like an R&B DJ, which is like cool. Like that is my shit. But that's definitely not all that I do or like we do when I speak about Behruz and myself. It's like a lot of people don't even know like the half of it. You know, like this music shit has been engraved into my soul in terms of like following your passion of living. And I used to make I think I was telling like I used to make the grade 6 mixtapes for our school dances way before we like anything. Like I was playing the CD and recording on a tape and pause and record, put a new CD in, unpause and record, and doing it with no spaces and transitions. And that was grade 6, you know? So like I've been doing that consistently. In grade 7, we were rewriting songs for school projects. In grade 9, I was DJing house parties, which eventually led to gigs and more house parties in the school dances. So I started getting paid for it. And running the tech crew where we were just basically always fucking creating. My best friends and I back home, like Mackenzie, Shane, Dylan, we created a recording studio booth in my garage because we just wanted to make music.
So this is in high school.
I was in high school. I'm the older one out of all of us, so I was probably in grade 9 or 10. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I was about 14, 15.
So you've been
And,
doing this for a long time.
bro, like 20 years almost. Your boy's old now. You know what I mean? Your boy, you see the grays? Like your boy's getting there. All right?
I think that's the interesting part, isn't it? Because also like with all this process that you have had over the years, you've found different things that you're interested in, and you've developed those in different ways as well.
It's just like this music umbrella. It was always just like, oh, you do music. But like as you get more and more involved, you realize that means so many things. What do? Do you collaborate? Do you songwrite? Do you produce? Do you give ideas to this? And like there's so many things where scoring for music, I've done audio for short films. You know what I mean? And it all stems from like just being a child that I don't know why, I don't know how, just in love with fucking music. To the point where we were kids and my dad used to ask me always like, I would sing every word of whatever rap song or R&B song in the back seat. It's like, do you know your schoolwork like that? Bam. And eventually I ended up going to Metalworks where that became my schoolwork. And so much has progressed since then.
I think like we were speaking, we've had a lot of these conversations before, and that's why I wanted to sit down and record it, some parts of it, like tell some parts of these stories, because a lot of times people always ask me like, how do you know this is your passion? Or this is a common thing, right? In today's world, like people are always looking for what they're passionate about. But I think the good blueprint or a good strategy in a way is to just like gravitate towards what you're interested and then see how far you can take it and see if that's still something you're interested after making it a little more serious in a way. Like you went to the college
Metalworks,
to Metalworks
yeah.
to
Metalworks.
get an audio engineering degree. So like,
Yeah, and that's the thing. No, I don't even think a lot of people here know that. You know what I mean? Some people have heard rumors, I'm sure, like, oh yeah, I used to work with OVO, Drake, Majid Jordan. But I don't think anyone really knows the specifics of how, like,
I want to get into that a bit. But
Yeah.
before that, I want to also shout out Behruz, first of all. And both of you are a duo, for calling yourself In My Mixed Feelings.
No, just mixed feelings,
So
baby.
it's Mixed Feelings.
In My Mixed Feelings is the Instagram page.
Instagram
But,
page.
mixed feelings, baby.
So how did that begin?
So mixed feelings began. Should I give the intro of how we met real quick or not?
Yeah.
All right, fuck
Let's
it.
do that.
He's gonna deny this for life, and I always tell the story exactly the same. He will deny this for life.
Okay.
Second week, cartels open. Okay, the woman he was dating at the time, she came to the DJ booth at the end of the night. Okay, she came to the booth. Sweet girl, great girl, nothing against her. Complimenting me. I'm new to Dubai. I'm down to meet any friend possible because I'm trying to meet. I don't know nobody.
Network, yeah.
I know Lean, and that's it. Outside of the work company I'm with, nobody. So I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh my God, you're killing it. You're so sick. Where are you from? Toronto. Take my contact information. I work for whatever. If you need anything, blah, blah, blah. Okay? As soon as the phones came out, I'm talking light on face. Yo, this guy was out here like Sonic, okay? He came with his boy. He's like, hey man, what's up? He's just like, my name's Behruz. Nice to meet you. Like, yo, I just wanted to let you know, like, I don't do this often, but you killed it.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you, man. I appreciate it. He's like, yeah, yo, like, let me know. I DJ too. I have my spot that I play at. If you want to ever come, cool. So we hit it off right off the bat. Like, no slander. Like, he was a good, genuine guy off the bat. Started going to industrial. Used to see Max busting it down and slutting it out on the dance floor. But yeah, B used to take care of me, and he come to Cartel, I take care of him. You know, he got the first free bottle that Cartel ever gave out because of Hamdan. You know, so like the respect is very mutual.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just ended up hitting it off so well.
Okay.
And he ended up learning more about my OVO history. He is such a fan. Hit it off even more. I played him some unreleased records, and shit just got like, yo, what's like? This is crazy. Unreleased Drake, Majid, Party, Division, whatever.
B the first DJ or someone in the music industry you met when you moved to Dubai? Or got close to?
Close to 100%.
Okay.
Because like when I first came, like the very first night I landed, I took all 5 of my suitcases, and Hamdan took me to Miss Lily's.
Okay.
And I was tripping. I was inside there. Everyone's smoking cigarettes. We don't smoke inside in Toronto. So I was tripping. So I met Mehdi, Colin, Crown Prince, whoever, right? So B was the first one that I hit it off this well with. And yeah, you know, after X amount of time together, being friends, we're like, he came to Cartel, he was holding it down. Whenever I had to use the bathroom, I'm like, yo, just take the headphones, just play, please. Because before I was doing 4.5 hours by myself, you have to pee eventually, bro. Like, let's be real. True. So when he started coming and he could DJ, and like he works on Tractor, I work on Serato, I was like, yo, just do 2 songs for me, let me go pee real quick. He started doing that. And then after a while, we got comfortable, he would just jump on. I'm like, yo, you should just like play. And then we started doing that a little bit. And then, when is it? I think it's March 9th. Okay. March 9th is like our anniversary, our mixed feelings anniversary. Okay. From the day of conception. And we, not last year, 2 years ago, we basically said, yeah, like, yo, we should do a duo. And the name we came about was Mixed Feelings. Because he picked me up to go to the gym one day, and he was making fun of me over a girl or something, and then I was like, yo, I'm having mad mixed feelings about this fucking duo. And then we stopped and we looked at each other, we're like,
that's the name.
That's the name.
Yeah.
So it hit, and then after that, it's been like, you know, that's my brother. He always looks out. He's a really good dude.
Okay.
And
yeah, that's one of the things. Like I think when I met you at the beginning as well, I think that was at Unplugged. Was that the first time I met you?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. And you and B were both together.
Yeah, I was
And-
playing.
And immediately, like, both of your energy was so.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
I'm a great dude.
See, this is what the dynamic between you and Behruz is so hilarious, and you guys always make each other laugh, but also everybody around you laugh.
Yeah.
So it's always fun to be around.
I'm
both
mad
of you.
lucky. I'm lucky. This guy's taking me into his family. You know what I mean? Like he's there for me. I know he's a real one.
Yeah. And
So
that's the thing. Like sometimes it's just those people that come into your life, and you never expect it, but it ends up being one of those.
yeah, bro. I was supposed to be here for a year.
Yeah.
You know, like I was like, I'll give myself a year, and then after a year, shit started taking off. You know, if you minus the COVID shit, but like everything was like it's been going good, and it still is. You know, because we've been able to step outside of this box that we've been placed in.
Yeah.
We've
Let's
been-
get into that more.
Okay, we've been like I feel like because after a while our residency became Cartel, right? Cartel is known, it's a great intimate spot, very hip hop, R&B, Afro influenced.
Okay.
But I feel like everyone thinks that's all we do. First of all, we can play house sets, we can do deep house, techno, rock set, like we can do it all. If it's good music, we fuck with it.
Yeah.
And Cartel has put us in this box. And now, like, after a certain amount of time, it's like, yo, like, we've paid our due. I feel like first of all, I've paid my dues
Long before.
twice fold.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, however, now, like, coming into a new city, you have to do it again. And I did. And
To earn your stripes again.
Exactly. And like I very quickly I was able to make great friends with some of the best DJs out here. Some of the key people that network, you know, promoters, influencers, whatever you want to call it. And that's just by being myself. And I like to have fun, sometimes too much, but I will always have fun and keep it real. And now I think it's at a point where it's like people have pigeonholed us or try to keep us under this glass ceiling of like just that, where they don't understand that both of us are fucking very well versed in all of audio engineering,
Yeah.
all of this production shit. We have gone to school. We are graduated. We didn't learn on YouTube, which is great if you teach yourself on YouTube. But no, we have certificates. Like, we did this shit for real. And I feel like people think we're just DJs. And there's nothing wrong with being just a DJ.
Yeah.
But put some fucking respect on, like, what we've put in to this. You know what I mean? Like, the return on investment for us has been great. But I feel like now we're at a point where it's like people need to actually know what we're capable
Everything
of.
else.
Yeah, like yo, we songwrite, we produce, we're in the studio, like we're working, and it might look like we're always having fun. We are, but please
But why
believe
not?
exactly.
Yeah.
But please believe we are working in the background of all of that, and we are every single day we're trying to get better at our art and our craft, and eventually you will see a project from us. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I think sometimes that's a thing. People, if they don't see you on a daily basis or something, like, or if they're not seeing your stories, especially with social media, that's a big thing. Like, if you're not posting the newest shit or something like that, people almost forget or think that you're not doing anything. No, that's not the case. You're creating. You're in the background. Sometimes you want to just not show everything from the beginning.
Yeah.
You want to.
I think that's, sorry to cut you off, but like that's another thing with like, you know, there's so many friends here that like I've been able to know and learn about that are in this. And this is their livelihood, you know? And there seems to be some kind of like stigma in my mind where it's like, oh, they're doing this for real. Like, how do I invite them into my world where it's not just for fun, but it's a lot of fun of creating. You know what I mean? Songwriting, freestyles, rap site. Listen, if anyone wants to come and cypher and freestyle and battle, I promise you, I will blow your mind away and probably beat you. So like,
And I've seen it live. Like, I've seen you do that in person.
yeah,
And,
like I
that's-
freestyle, we'll battle and rap for fun. And we would songwrite and do melodies and harmonies and like record it and mix it, you know, and create the beat. Like we can do all of that. But I feel like there's a stigma and like in Toronto, everyone, I'm in a circle with everybody. Here it's like you touch them, but you're not infiltrated in the circle.
Yeah.
And that's fine. However, like I need everyone to know, like, we do this. We can. We will actually probably blow your minds. And I do want to collaborate more with more artists that are in the game, that are working on this every day, because that's still an end goal.
Yeah.
We're not just DJ. I'm not just a DJ. You know what I mean?
Especially now with the current situation that's going on around the world. I think it's amazing opportunity for a lot of creatives to step into and step out of what they...
Of course, there's so much free time where if you have a little bit of a passion for it, fine. I used like, you know, I applaud those who are like, all I need to do is buy a controller, have some songs. I'm a DJ now. I applaud you for your effort and your passion. Go for it, chase it, like you should. However, that's not how I got into this. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like something in the free time. Like, this was my time. I've paid my dues. And
You've paid in blood, sweat, and tears.
blood, sweat, and many tears,
Yeah.
okay? Not just from me.
It's a long journey.
You're missing family time. You're missing girlfriend time. You're missing friend time. Like, you
All
to
those
sacrifice.
birthdays, anniversaries.
Yeah, you have to sacrifice for the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And Dubai has kind of almost like, I feel like for myself, has like brought that down in a way where it's like, I don't want that to happen anymore. Which is kind of why when I was back home, that's why I released the Moon Juice project.
Oh, yeah.
The bootlegs, you know what I mean? Like, where that was finally a chance for me to produce, remix, edit, and bootleg some of my favorite records to put out in a context of just me as a full project, finally being creative.
What was the inspiration behind the Moon Juice project? Because that's like, we've spoken about this off air before. Like, you have a thing about moon and the phases of moon. You even have a tattoo about it. So what's the story behind it? And also, is that something moving forward you want to keep as a tag?
Yeah, 100%. So like, Moon Juice came from the same homegirl, Aliana, and I used to work together. Well, not work together, but I used to have a residency at Libertine in Toronto. Great spot, amazing place. That was my home. That was like my first home in Toronto, I feel like. Libertine and Churchill. And she was best friends with the person that did the digital, like all the graphics. And I used to always have a Thursday night. And one night she told her best friend who created them, it's like, yo, he loves the moon. Call it Moon Juice, my night.
Okay.
Right? And then I kept that. And then I really fucking love that name because it just, so many reasons with the moon. Everyone loves the moon, but then there's so much more when you look into it in depth. You can learn about the moon cycles, the new moons, the full moons.
How it affects you.
How it affects you as an individual. It's so beautiful, you know what I mean? And this and that. And then as you grow up, that started reflecting things with a girlfriend. Like, baby, are you looking at the moon? You know what I mean? Like, dumb shit like that. But it always became a part of me. And as I look back now, as like 3 decades of life, it's just something that has been consistent. And something that as consistent as music in my life, I want to keep that as well. And that just fits so perfect. Moon juice. You're like, I love the moon and you got the juice. You know what I mean? Like, it's something where it just...
So this is for sure something you're going to continue doing.
100%. So the way I look at it moving forward is, if you look at on Genius or All Credits, you see my name, and I have Travis J. Sewchan whenever I'm engineering, assistant engineering, or songwriting. That's my credit. DJ TJ, that's the one that plays all that music. But Moon Juice is the one that makes that music. You know, and like, outside of anyone that doesn't see this, I don't expect anyone to make that connection. I'm not trying to make it like, oh, this is what no, that's just a standalone character in my mind where he expresses himself.
It's a different chapter of
That's it.
your life. It's
Also, go listen to that Moon Juice project. It's on SoundCloud.
I'm
It's
going to
called
put the
Moon
links
Juice
in
Book.
the description.
hell
For
yeah.
sure, go check those out.
Yeah.
It's been definitely, I remember when you released it and I messaged you, you were still back in Canada at that point, and I was like, yo, when you come back, we need to sit down and talk about
See,
this.
the thing is with me, I always drop projects on my birthday. I love dropping projects on my birthday. That's
So,
my gift. It's
looking
my
forward-
gift. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but looking forward,
Yeah.
you have that to live up to.
Yeah,
Every
100%.
single birthday.
Yeah, like
I'm gonna be expecting
I've dropped
something.
multiple releases. I dropped my first and only single that I've ever sang on my birthday, and then Mood Swings, and now Moon Juice. So
Okay,
you will always get a project from me on my birthday, no matter what.
Perfect. I think
And,
people know now to definitely look for something as soon as this birthday coming up.
Yeah,
So that's
exactly.
nice. And earlier today, when we met, we're catching up for a coffee before we started jumping on this. I remember us talking about DJ classes. Tell me more about
So
that.
that's more of a thing where it's like, we're looking towards, we're in a pandemic. How do you make money?
Exactly.
And this wasn't even something that I thought about. This is something that I've been approached by literally six different people where it's like, can you teach me? Like, all right, sure. Like, let's make it lucrative. So I do want to push forward anything in terms of like helping anyone. It's not just for the money, but I mean, yeah, sure. It
I
makes
think
sense.
it's I don't know why there is a confliction of ideas saying that if you're making money, you're not liking it, or
No,
you're
of
not
course,
doing
I
it for the
fucking
passion.
love making money.
Exactly.
Are you crazy?
Yeah, and I love a dollar bill just as much as the next man, but at the same time, I want to also have fun doing
a
it.
dollar dirham, you mean, sir?
Yeah, dirham for us, but hopefully soon it becomes a dollar bill as well. I would love that exchange currency to increase.
Throw dollar bills and get Max on the dance floor real quick,
Yeah.
It's like a little 1-2.
So,
But,
so have you already decided or made a list of people that you're going to be doing the DJ
no, I
classes
mean
with?
that's just like I want to make sure that I provide the right facilities for someone to learn. They're learning on the best of the best that I can offer, whether that be in a venue or whatever. And there's only been I've probably had 5 different lessons with people, and it works. But things need to be a little bit tighter, and I have some new gear coming in, hopefully, with the ability to teach at my home.
Okay.
If once it becomes a home teaching, completely different. It's a game changer because going into a venue that you're close with, you can use the facilities, you can use all their gear, and you can teach somebody. But look, the way I look at it is there's talent and there's skill. You know what I mean? So everyone born with talent, hone that. Keep going.
I actually don't believe that. I actually
what
don't
part?
believe in talent.
You don't believe in talent and
No.
skill?
I actually
You
don't
don't
believe in talent.
birth given talent.
No, I don't.
How? If someone in my world, if somebody can naturally sing, they're talented.
I think
You
that
can
comes
work at
from
that
their
skill.
experience.
What experience? What if someone just has a blessed,
No.
amazing voice?
Experience doesn't mean in music experience.
Hmm.
For me, what I'm saying is just their life. Like for example, Robert Johnson, one of the greatest blues
Hmm.
singer and guitar players ever, right? What was his experience? For me, it was like if you see his story, he was going through a lot, right, in his personal life. He was married to a woman, or I think he was wanting to get married to that girl, and the father was not allowing it, and a bunch of things were happening. His personal life was a mess. It was absolute mess. And through that, when he was expressing himself, it just came so with emotions and everything, and just that translated into. And then he obviously worked with he worked on his skills, and then developed those to deliver it properly.
Yeah.
But what's
There's always raw talent, though, bro.
I understand what you're saying. Like,
Look.
Michael Jordan, for example,
No,
was
but
he the
worked.
greatest?
He worked.
But
listen,
you cannot take away from them saying it was a talent that was just given to them.
he wasn't. But when you're talented and you have the skill, listen, working hard at your skill will beat the talent if the talent doesn't work hard.
I
No
know
matter
the saying. I know that saying. But
So
at the
then-
same time, I'm telling you, I don't subscribe to it.
Why?
I think
Is this our first fight? Is this our first fucking fight?
I think this is our first disagreement, and
Okay,
one
so
of the bigger
like,
disagreements
alright, so tell
for
me.
sure. And I think we'll get into this because we can definitely go very deep into it, and it's gonna take on for at least an hour to finish that conversation. I would say.
Look for part 2 and part 3.
Maybe I think we do a part 2 for that part in
No, no, no.
specific.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
Fair.
But
Look.
continue on with the story.
No,
we'll get to
I-
that part separately.
I didn't even remember what I was talking about. All I know is that what was
the,
that?
the teaching of classes and then
Yeah,
the-
look.
Yeah.
anyone can develop their skills. If your work hard, if your work ethic is just stupid, you can do it. You know what I mean? And that goes for anything, like whatever you want. That's how I professionally got into this game. You know, I was in school at Metaworks, and like I was not the smartest in my class. You know what I mean? But I was fucking blessed that. Go ahead. What were you gonna
Sorry,
say?
I
feel like you're about to say
want to cut
something.
you off
Tell me,
on
tell
this
me.
point here.
Tell me.
Just
Let me
so
get
that we
some
don't
more apple juice.
just so that we don't leave it on a hanger, is
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
the reason I tell that is like the point you were just mentioning. You weren't, like you said, the smartest kid in the school,
I was not.
right?
Right.
And neither was I.
For sure.
Neither was I. Nothing ever came easy to me when I was making any skill that I wanted to develop or any direction I wanted to go with, whether it was sports or art, creativity, even academics. Like I was not the smartest kid, but I knew what I wanted to do, and I worked for every fucking part of it. And that's for me the reason. I'm not saying maybe talent doesn't exist, but for me, that's what I believe. Just because throughout my journey, that was never the case. Right? I had to work every fucking bit for everything I got. And that's how I grew up as well. Like in my household, like my dad never gave anything. Like you had to work for it. He made sure to put those values in you, and I thank him for it now. Like he's the reason I have the mad discipline I have to make sure whatever I need to get done, I get done, no matter what I have to do for it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I say that. But continue with what you were saying about
Well, no, with what,
Metalworks.
even just to follow up with what you're saying, like the thing is, like my parents, I'm the youngest of two older sisters. Okay, my mom to this day treats me like a baby.
Okay.
Okay, my dad is my best friend. You know, my two parents and my two sisters, for life, have made me feel like I can fucking do anything, whatever it is. And I've carried that mentality. I didn't realize that mentality until not too long ago. And with that mentality being instilled in you, you feel like anything is possible.
Yeah.
And you make anything possible.
Yeah, it's how you see it.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's why, even though at Metalworks I was not the smartest, I always felt like something was gonna come from that. And while I was in Metalworks, one of my favorite artists was next door.
That's the story I want to get into.
Working on his first album. He was doing Thank Me Later, okay, while working with a student help, like a teacher helper in our class, Noel.
Okay.
And I was always bothering him, always cracking jokes, always showing up, saying, "When are you gonna bring me on tour?" As a joke, okay? And I graduated January 2011. Okay? 2 months later, March 1st, 2011, I'm washing dishes. I get a phone call from Noel saying, "Yo, I need your help to build a studio."
Okay.
What was that studio for? For Drake and 40.
Oh.
Okay?
Uh-huh.
And that was the studio that we made Take Care in. So, yo, I've lived so long of always feeling like anything is possible. And then I lived through making anything possible. And that brought me to a moment where I was like blessed enough. Also, timing. Timing is super crucial. Like, I got lucky. I worked hard, yes, but like you have to be in the right place in the right time for things to line up as clear as they do. And I was there. I was lucky. It didn't change my life. I'm not rolling in cash. But do I have crazy experience and crazy stories for life? You know what I mean? And that's what kind of led me to working with OVL for 7 years.
So I want to dive a little more deeper into it, and the process of you asking him regularly, and then him actually calling you, and how that became the part of your journey at that point, and how long was that?
So I went to school for a year program for audio production and sound engineering,
Okay.
APE. Okay. We start in January. We finish in December.
Okay.
No breaks. I'm talking weeks of 13. In 1 week, you have between tests, exams, and practicals, you have 13 exams. So it was fucked, right? The system was a little fucked back then, but it worked because I always stayed true to myself. I always bugged him. In a playful way. That's just my character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
People who know you know
yeah,
about
like
that.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
But I'm playing with you.
Yeah.
But I'm serious, and that just like when you're working in a studio, especially in that capacity, you're in a room with somebody for 12 to 15 hours a day.
Yeah.
You want to be in there with somebody you like. You know what I mean? Somebody that can get the job done, work hard, and you like. And I feel like at that time I checked all those boxes for Noel, and which is why I was able to be brought in as Noel had 40. 40 had Noel, and Noel brought me in. And that was well before OVO Sound was popping. That was before they signed Party, Majid Jordan, Division.
Okay.
I was in on the ground floor building the studio that we made Take Care in. You know what I mean? And then I got to be a part of Take Care. I was blessed. I was lucky. I got to be there for one of my favorite artists. Like So Far Gone was an inspiration for my university in 2009. My final project, I used to study in drama. I don't know if you remember it. You know what I mean? Like I
I've heard
studied
this
drama, English, and speech communications in university.
Okay.
All right. So your boy's a little dramatic. Your
For
boy
sure.
can speak right, and I will speak proper. All right.
Yeah.
So all of those combined, and for one of my final projects, it was a sound recording, and Drake's So Far Gone was a huge inspiration before that. Before I knew anything. Fast forward 2.5 years later, I'm in the studio with him, recording one of his breakthrough albums.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the fucking universe. That's just me I was super positive throughout all those years. I admit, my positivity has dropped a little bit since coming to Dubai.
Well, for me, because I don't know, I've only seen you for the last year and a half. I've never felt that way. You've always been very positive every
Yeah.
single time I've met you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I-
I just
I-
feel it's when I say dropped, I mean like before nobody could tell me anything. Like you could tell me that the sun wasn't gonna come up today, and I would prove to you that the moon was staying up all fucking day, no matter what.
Yeah.
Like that's how much I believed in everything that I did. I feel like Dubai kind of like brought that down a little bit, and I guess that's just maybe more of being the new kid for a bit.
Yeah, but also I think, like you were saying earlier, of that feeling constantly of being boxed in, that weighs on you over time.
Yeah. So now
Yeah.
that my dues have been paid here, I have made my friends. I know great people. I know promoters,
And you've been
videographers,
performing.
DJs, performers. Yeah,
Yeah.
like my worth has been proven time and time again. And like if you know me, if you've heard me, if you whatever, if I will do it
Yeah.
again and again and again, and I will be professional as fuck while having fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now that's why I'm saying like the respect has to be put on for when we move forward, because it's like this is what we do now. This is where we're at. And my track record, I've worked with the biggest artists in the world. I don't care what anyone says. The only other artist that you could say is close to him is The Weeknd, and I've still worked with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Weeknd, Drake, I've smoked a joint with Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? Like all the Canadian pop stars that you can think about on my resume. And nobody here knows that. They don't know they don't know the story. You know what I mean? And like,
I think that's the thing. Like a lot of times, just because people don't know what your back history is,
but yo, people are too cool. People are too cool. People are like too concerned with being cool. And like, what I don't know if that might be a very huge repercussion of social media. But it's like you gotta always be in the cool spot. You gotta always be
Yeah.
doing whatever's hot. You gotta always be like putting on a show because social media is showing what you want to. I'm a victim of it as well. I do the same thing. I be posting shit that I feel like people want to see.
Shows you in the best.
The best of light.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that in Dubai has been hit tenfold. It's like an extreme here. And I didn't think that when I first came here. But then I have been saturated in the market. I have been hit and abused as to what needs to happen. And that kind of kills your inspiration.
Yeah, over time especially, I think that's a big thing. And obviously, I'm happy that now you're not thinking about that anymore, and you're.
It'll always be there. I'm gonna be honest. It's always there, but it's just controlling where and how, and that goes out to anybody that's trying to do anything. Like, you're your own worst enemy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're always
Sometimes
gonna
you
hold
can get
yourself.
in your own way.
That's it. No one's in your way but you. And like, listen, somebody's always gonna have something to say.
True. You can't please anybody.
Why not
Everybody.
have them have it to say about something you care about?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm now like moving forward. We're recording, we're writing. I'm writing. Like I'm out here recording in my own mic. You got a nice little mic. We're doing it. You've seen it. You know what I mean? Like,
And I think just to finish off, I want to bring something and announce that what we're working on, and finish off on that note. You want to do the honors of
yeah.
announcing something interesting?
Yeah, so we're
Okay.
basically working on
Not too much information.
Yeah, basically just for any artists out there that doesn't matter where you are, what region. We basically have a series lined up to kind of do something where if you fuck with us and you're open to it, we would like to kind of show the entire process from conception to performing on stage, a piece, a musical piece, a song, essentially. You know what I mean? And like what goes into that process. And we basically have a very strong concept with how, when, where, and why to explain yourself.
I think like the idea, like the way I would explain it is also like just to show the entire creative process without giving away too much. Because obviously if you are interested, just hit either me or Travi up and we can explain you more in detail. But you have some people already in mind for it who are...
Yeah, I mean, we already mess with, you already know, like Jamie DeVille, that's my guy, Mo Flow, Layla Cardon, Shabani, Freak, you know, like Menon, like these are all of our friends out here. And this is just this region, you know, but like we're here. So we want to do something for this region, from this region.
Yeah.
And kind of show you the process and do it in a way where it's documented from beginning to end. And I think it's just something very special. I think that a few people will want to be involved.
And if you want to be part of it, just all you need to do is hit us up.
Yeah,
and
of
we'll go
course.
from there.
And we can do a few more things with, yeah, I mean, fuck it. You'll figure it out. I'm gonna hit a few people up, but,
Yeah.
you know.
You want to say something else before we close it up?
What did we talk about off camera?
What else have we talked about? I think we can keep that for part 2. Don't you think?
Yeah, if you want. Do you want to do part 2 on this?
I think you can give some of it. Some of it. I think that'd be interesting. Let's go. Continue. Let's do a short, very quickly.
Very quickly. We're already running at 48 minutes. Hitesh asked for me to share like any kind of Drake stories that I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
What's the first one that pops in your head?
I just drawn a blank. There's so many. Let's see. Okay, there's this one story. We're just jumping into a random story now for fun. We did Nothing Was the Same.
Okay.
That project I was fully involved in from beginning to end. That's where I was with Majid Jordan. I was their engineer. I mean, shit, we can even start it real quick how like that even.
Yeah, go for
okay.
it. Yeah.
Noel and I were always working in the studio, and basically they started signing artists, and when they signed Partynextdoor, and at the time it was called Good People, who eventually became Majid Jordan, that was when things started picking up a lot. You know, their OVO brand started branching out, and I was lucky enough to be there for all of it. And what had happened was during Nothing Was the Same recording sessions, we were in the studio at Metalworks, and we rented out the entire studio. So there was one day specifically where 40 wasn't there, or 40 was working with Drake, I don't remember. Noel was working with Party, but Majid and Jordan had came. And Noel was like, yo, can you go set them up in Studio B? So I set them up, I got them all going, and then I set up Majid's mic, and I had him test it. And I was ready to go, and he was like, yo, it sounds good, can we just record? I was like, all right, fine, fuck it. Like, I started recording. 10 minutes later, Noel comes in, and he's like, coming to check on us, and I was like, no, he's like, we're good. He already saw us recording.
Yeah.
So I was with Maj and Jay from that first night. And then the next day we come in, we start, bam. Immediately, 40 and Noel were just like, yo, just Travi, go run Maj and Jay. Yeah. That ended up happening for 3 more months. You know what I mean? So like within that time, that's when we got to do sessions, writing for Nothing Was the Same. The idea for Hold On, We're Going Home was birthed within that time frame. How we doing for recording?
Yeah, we're
right?
good, we're good.
All right. So fun story about Hold On, We're Going Home.
Yeah.
We actually had a session one night. It was me, Maj, Jay, and Paul Jeffries, 1985. We were doing a session, and we were supposed to work on songs that were supposed to go to Janet Jackson. Okay, so we did about 4 or 5 records, and one of those songs was Bad Girl.
Oh.
And how that went was, because I'm a bad girl and you know it, which turned into, because you're a good girl and you know it, bam, 2 2s, Drake heard it, turned it into Hold On, We're Going Home the next day. And then I recorded Maj, 40 recorded Drake, we were all there for the same session, bam, my first engineering credit. So I was there for all of Nothing Was the Same, breathing in and out. Coming to the studio at 7 p.m., leaving at 8 a.m., 13-hour days. My relationship at the time, she was cheese. Bam, done. After all of that, we had a listening session. Noel asked me to pick up some speakers and go set it up at a hotel downtown in Yorkville. And Drake wanted to do a listening party for a couple of his friends. So cool, we set it all up. We do the listening party. I'm setting up all the speakers. Sounds great.
Yeah.
First song, we're into the intro. 2 minutes into the intro, this old man comes into the hotel and he's tripping. He's like, what is this? Stop this shit. What's going on? It immediately makes us stop the music. And Drake's like, okay, chill. We'll stop it. Blah, blah, blah. But the guy was so mad. And Drake was obviously upset. This is his first time playing his big project for like his friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm freaking out. I go speak to the hotel management. I'm like, yo, is there anything we can do to make this happen for him? You know, like, I don't got to tell you it's Drake. Like, please, right? And they're like, yo, we got a movie theater downstairs. Do you think we can make this work? I was like, yo, can we have the space to ourselves? Like, I'll do you even better. You can have it to yourself and smoke inside. So like, you're talking about smoking weed inside and you can listen to music?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, we're obviously down. Within 7 minutes, I had like Chubbs, Mark, Rocks, whoever, help me move all the shit downstairs, set it all up, and then bam, we had the listening session downstairs. This will forever be one of my top 3 moments with Drake because everyone in that room was hearing the project for the very first time. Noel, 40, Party, Division, Drake, none of them were there. But I was there, and I was running the whole music for him. And I'm there rapping word for word with Drake under our breath, every song to the intro and everything. And that was a moment of, I'm like, yo, bro, Tuscan Leather, like your intro was X that out.
It's fine.
You have to X that out, all right? Anyways, your your album is better than motherfuckers. I'm sorry, your intro is better than some people's fucking whole album.
Okay.
And he was with me. We're rapping it. At the end of the whole thing, he gives a whole speech about how much of a help I've been. He's like, everyone make noise for Travis. Oh, yo, Travi, blah, blah, blah. And everyone was just showing mad love. But that was just a moment with me and him where I feel like I made it. You know, I'm like, Mama.
The
I
mutual
made it."
respect between an
Yeah,
artist.
because ever since that day, anytime I've seen this guy, whether it be at Apartment 200 or video shoots or whatever, he had always shown me such a huge amount of respect. Like, you're one of the biggest, you are the biggest star in the world in this shit that we do. And like, you're coming across the room to check for me. Like, he is so down to earth, and it was amazing. Like, that will forever be a moment that has always stuck with me. And that has led to me to being with recording on Partynextdoor, recording Division, and then recording all of Majid Jordan's first EP, first album. That led me to being on tours and being their tour DJ. So like,
How long, when you say tour, like when was this? And I want to just understand that because you mentioned touring DJ.
yeah.
So let's give a little more context on that.
So for Majid Jordan, we recorded their project in 2015, released it in 2015. 2016, we did, in the first quarter of the year, we did 10 shows around North America. Fast forward 3 months to about June, we did 10 shows across Europe. And then you come to October, and we did 50 shows. Something ridiculous. Is it 50? Fuck, I don't know.
And this is, like, a lot of people don't understand what goes into touring.
Listen, bro, you want to talk about touring real quick? I'll give you, I know we're running late on time, but yo, when it came down to the touring for Majid Jordan, bro, I was their in-studio engineer, okay? I was their live performing engineer. I was their opening tour DJ. I was the setup, and I was the teardown. Okay, that was no joke. I didn't do it all alone. I had help. Dusty and Ali were there, you know. However, bro, we were touring around. We're riding in the bus. You go. You get at the studio. You get to the venue. Unpack. Okay. You get help from the venue. Hands on deck. Set up everything. Set up my DJ gear. Do the what's it called? Sound check. Do sound check for them. Finish my shit. Do sound check for me. I would go shower somewhere in the fucking venue, okay, get dressed on the bus, run back. The guests are about to arrive. I played the intro playlist for an hour, and then run on stage, do my DJ set for an hour, run off stage all the way back to front of house, get ready for their live show, do the live engineering for the show with them. Everyone's working hard. It's stick team, live engineering for the whole show. Finish the show, pack it up, pack up my DJ gear, throw it in the truck, go to an after party, DJ the first 3 to 5 songs of an after party because Jordan was probably DJing. Let him come in because, I mean, if something's going to go wrong, let it go wrong with me, right? Let him play. Majid probably does a song or two, make sure the mic is good. Pack that up, get in the car, get in the bus, drive, and go do it all over again.
How long did the tour go on?
6.5 weeks. It was amazing. It was fucked.
Yeah.
It was stressful, but I was able to buy
But
my
it's still-
Audi. All right.
Yeah.
After all that, I bought my Audi, so it was well worth it for the experience, for the fucking.
For the journey, like keeping that memory.
Those are
for
some of
life.
the greatest memories I'll ever have. You know what I mean? Like, it was great times. The amount of people you meet, the amount like of people that still to this day listen to my Majid Jordan tour mix and say, "I remember that moment." Unbelievable. You know
That's
what I mean?
amazing. I think that's one hell of a story to finish this off on, and I want to thank you again for coming on, sharing all of this story.
Yeah, I feel like I don't even know if we really talked about, but I mean, it's cool.
Yeah, we went on for a while, so I think once we listen back to it, there'll be a lot of things that we will remember. That
Once you listen back, let me know. So
yeah, I'm gonna be listening to this at least a couple of times while I'm editing. So for me, I know I'm gonna remember almost every word of it. So thank you again, and I'm excited to see what else is gonna be happening in the future. Cheers to that.
Thank you, bro.
And let's go ahead and make that bag and create a lot of shit and history.
Shout out to my family and Jameson one time.
Yalla.
All right.